Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you here and now. I do look at leaks. Specifically character leaks, but I do look at a Reddit for leaks of games that I'm following. Well, specifically gacha games, obviously. But I don't want to mention any kind of leaks on my channel, just in case people are trying to avoid leaks like the fucking plague. I can sort of understand it, but at the same time I don't. The only leaks I can understand trying to avoid are story-based leaks. That is perfectly fine, but character kit, I think, is fair game. However, I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room. So, just the other day, Castorice and Anasha got leaked. Their full kits, their animations, everything. And people are not happy about Castorice in the fucking slightest. Why is that? Well, a tweet from Dim Scorch Breath, Sanctuary of the Lunar Cocoon. Can't post the actual video, but it's a unique global buff that Castorice has, but I assume more characters will in the future. So what does this Lunar Cocoon thing do? After obtaining Castorice, or when Castorice is in the current team, meaning she can be in the team or not, and she can just sit idly by, you receive the following effect. In battle, when an allied character receives a killing blow, all allies that received a killing blow in this action enter the Lunar Cocoon state. Characters in the Lunar Cocoon delay becoming downed and can take one action normally. After the action, if they receive healing or have a shield before their next turn, it's removed. Otherwise, they will be downed immediately. This effect can be triggered one time per battle. And the best part about it is that it works in endgame modes. However, the downside to that is enemies are now going to be doing a fuck ton more damage. So, let's talk about this Castorice ability. So, just owning the character, you will have this passive no matter what. That in of itself is pretty broken. The effect itself is pretty tame and not busted at all, because you're still going to need to use a sustain of some kind. Otherwise you get down immediately, and it triggers one time per battle. So there's that. The only bad thing I can say about it is that it's Castorice specific, and you can use it even if you don't have Castorice on the team, which makes it less unique. And I think that decision is a bit weird, but I can sort of understand it, because Hoyo has done something like this in the past. In fact, why don't I just show you what I mean? Alright, so here I am in Genshin, after a bit of time that I haven't played this for a while. So in 1.0, a little known character called Venti released. And when you ascend him to a certain level and unlock his second trace, you get to do this. You get to hold down your skill, place down a little thing, and have complete total air current. That brings you up. This was in 1.0. It's a Venti-only ability that only Venti can do. And then 1.6 came out, with Kazuha here. And what he can do is while he's in the air, if you use a skill, as long as you're in the air, he can do that.
Follow the wind.
Pretty broken, no? Only Kazuha can do this. And then, sometime in 3.0 Plus, Scaramouche came out. And what he can do
Upon the gale
is dash in the air, but faster. For a limited time, mind you, but still. Not only that, but Xiao came out sometime during 1.0 Plus, and he can use his skill in the air as well, being able to dash forward constantly. And then sometime in, I believe, 4.0 Plus, Cloud Retainer came out, and you're able to use her skill to climb up mountains way easier. Why am I bringing this up? Because essentially, this is what I mean by saying Hoyo has done something like this in the past. However, what people don't remember, if you see the L1 plus circle button, right there, what is that? Well, that's a gadget. It has an 18-second cooldown, which I think is stupid, and it acts as Kazuha's skill. That's not the only thing that exists. There's this thing as well. And this thing acts like Venti's skill when you hold it. Granted, you need to charge it it holds 5 charges, and the cooldown is incredibly, ridiculously long, to the point where, why the fuck would you even use this thing? But yeah, Hoyo has done shit like this in the past, where a character-specific ability, or a character has a specific ability that's tied to them that makes playing the game way easier. But they do have a tendency to release a gadget of some kind or something that all characters can achieve. Like, hell, even in Natlan, there's Natlan-specific characters that can do specific, traversal moves. But everyone has access to the Saurians, as long as you can find one, anyway. So there's that. So I personally don't see this as that big of an issue, because I feel like Hoyo is going to release a party-wide buff that acts like Castorice's ability, but is slightly worse. Like, you have to actively have this thing active in the party, otherwise it won't work. Anyway, why do I have Japard here? Well, that's for one reason and one reason only. Japard has a trace. I believe it's... yeah. No. Yes, this one. Bonus ability. When Unyielding Will is triggered, his energy will be restored to 100%. Well, what's Unyielding Will? Unyielding Will reads, when struck with a killing blow, instead of becoming knocked down, Japard's HP immediately restores to a percentage of his max. This effect can only be triggered once per battle. So essentially, if he gets KO'd, he gets restored to nearly half health, and he gets his ultimate back up, which gives a party-wide shield. That is character-specific to only Japard, where you have to use Japard and whatnot, and that is broken. Like, that is an actual broken ability. Not only that, but there's also Baidu, who I unfortunately don't have, so I have to go into their databank for, but her talent is, after an ally target with Invigoration is hit, restores the ally's HP for a percentage of her max plus a certain amount. This effect can trigger 2 times. When Baidu's teammate receives a killing blow, they will not be knocked down. She immediately heals the ally for a percentage of her max HP plus a certain amount. This effect can be triggered 1 time per battle. She's a standard character, by the way, meaning everyone has access to her if you lose the 50-50 anyway. So, I understand the problem with Castorice. It's a party-wide buff that can be used regardless if she's in the team comp or not. I get that. I do. However, doom posting and saying that it's a fucking mistake and that it should be removed from the game? Absolutely fucking not. I don't agree. It doesn't hold a bad precedent because there's already a bad precedent enough already in this fucking game, if I'm being honest. Like, every single unit power creeps a previous unit to a huge degree. I mean, just look at Sparkle and Sunday. Sparkle is one of the best Harmony support units in the entire fucking game. And then Sunday came out. But he's only, in my opinion, only on par with Sparkle if you have his E1, S1. Whereas Sparkle is good right from the box as soon as you get the character. No Eidolons needed, and no light cone needed. Out of the box, she's amazing. Whereas with Sunday, you need to invest a bit more of your hard-earned cash, or just get simply lucky. So there's that. I don't see this as a problem, but it could be a problem in the future, but I don't think it will be because Hoyo has done shit like this in the past. I showed you with the Anima Boys. They will more than likely release a gadget, pet, what have you, that is a party-wide buff. Hell, Moza is supposedly a 4-star version of Topaz. Sure, it took them like a year plus to give us a 4-star character that's like Topaz, but we will most certainly get a character like Castorice's passive, but it's a 4-star character, or just some kind of gadget, gizmo, what have you. I'm not defending their actions, but I'm also saying this isn't a bad thing. It's a cautious thing to be wary about, for sure. Especially with how they've been treating enemies lately, because Nigador can whoop your fucking ass. One of the most unfair, unfun bosses in a turn-based fucking RPG I have ever witnessed. Having your HP and getting to immediately attack again and doing half of your HP and damage, killing you in the process? No thank you. But yeah, I don't think Castorice is going to be a must-pull, unless if, like, the main big thing that's going to be an issue is how hard the enemies will hit. And that's not just talking about one enemy that's optional. I'm talking about multiple enemies. That's another thing to keep in mind as well. Because if one enemy can do it, then you can just avoid that enemy and not fight it altogether. You can plan around that. But if multiple enemies have abilities like that, then we're in trouble. But hopefully, Hoyo has the decency not to fucking do that. But then again, Hoyo is a gacha company. They put their money first, then attention to detail second. I mean, look at Honkai Impact 3rd for fuck's sake. That game is predatory as all hell. It's still a fun game though, and the story is great. But goddamn, does that game fucking suck in terms of gacha. Anyway, I've been Rikishi, and I'm signing off. And remember, Castorice isn't the problem. The problem is going to be how hard-hitting are the common mobs going to be. Calm down. It's going to be okay. Bailu and Japard exist, and their abilities are way more broken than Castorice. Would it be better if Castorice's ability only worked if she was on the team? Sure. But, aside from that little thing, her ability isn't busted. You're still going to need a sustain. Sustainless runs don't fucking exist, unless if you're a Giga Whale. So, with that said, I'm signing off. Have an excellent day.